on board a man of war. Pretty work, brave boys, pretty work, I say. Hey! Sam's gone away on board a man of war.
I wish I played the mandolin on board a man of war.
Sam's gone away on board a man of war.
I wish I played the mandolin on board a man of war.
Sam's gone away on board a man of war. Pretty work, brave boys, pretty work, I say. Hey! Sam's gone away on board a man of war.
I wish I was the fiddler on board a man of war.
Sam's gone away on board a man of war.
I wish I was the fiddler on board a man of war.
Sam's gone away on board a man of war. Pretty work, brave boys, pretty work, I say. Hey! Sam's gone away on board a man of war.
I wish I played the double bass on board a man of war.
Sam's gone away on board a man of war.
I wish I played the double bass on board a man of war.
Sam's gone away on board a man of war. Pretty work, brave boys, pretty work, I say. Sam's gone away on board a man of war.
I wish I was a whistler on board a man of war.
Sam's gone away on board a man of war.
I wish I was a whistler on board a man of war.
Sam's gone away on board a man of war. Pretty work, brave boys, pretty work, I say. Hey! Sam's gone away on board a man of war.
Let me pull up the chat windows on all my on my windows.
Oh, I bid farewell to the port and the land, and I paddled away from brave England's white sands to search for my long ago forgotten friends, to search for the place I hear all sailors end. As the souls of the dead fill the space of my mind, I'll search without sleeping till peace I can find. I fear not the weather, I fear not the sea. I remember the fallen, do they think of me? When their bones in the ocean forever will be. Plot a course to the night, to a place I once knew, to a place where my hope died along with my crew. So I swallow my grief and face life's final test, to find promise of peace and the solace of rest. As the souls of the dead fill the space of my ears, their laughter like children, their beckoning cheers, my heart longs to join them, sing songs of the sea. I remember the fallen, do they think of me? When their bones in the ocean forever will be. When at last before my ghostly shipmates I stand, I shed a small tear for my home upon land. Though their eyes speak of deaths filled with struggle and strife, their smiles below say I don't owe them my life. As the souls of the dead fill the space of my eyes, and my boat listed over and tried to capsize, I'm this far from drowning, this far from the sea. I remember the living, do they think of me? When my bones in the ocean forever will be. Now that I'm staring down at the darkest abyss, I'm not sure what I want, but I don't think it's this. As my comrades call to stand fast and for John, I make sail for the dawn till the darkness has gone. As the souls of the dead live for air in my mind, as I live all the years that they left me behind, I'll stay on the shore but still gaze at the sea. I remember the fallen and they think of me, for our souls in the ocean together will be. I remember the fallen and they think of me,
so we're gonna
for
go,
our
I think,
souls in the ocean together.
Maybe we'll do like the tutorial that like plays animation we want to play. No, we'll We'll do.
Each time I hold somebody new, my arms grow cold.
High on the cliff tops of Norfolk's Green Isle, the women and children stand watching the while. Far down below, the whaleboat roll, as after the humpback the Norfolk men go. Row, my love, row, and bring back to me the king of the ocean, the prize of the sea. The men in the boat strain hard at the oars as they head for the whales and away from the shore. High in the bow, the harpoon man stands, the steel-shafted harpoon held tight in his hands. Roll, my love, roll,
so in a second,
and bring back to me the king of the ocean, the prize of the sea.
For the React channel, or the React portion.
It's ship your oars, lads, and quiet as you go. The harpoon sinks deep and the blood starts to flow. Hellfire and fury break out on the waves. One flick of his tail would mean watery graves. Row, my love, row, and bring back to me the king of the ocean, the prize of the sea. At last the whale drags the boat o'er the sea, but tires of his efforts the lines to break free. Exhausted at last he floats in the sun. Sharp lances complete what the harpoon's begun. Row, my love, row, and bring back to me the king of the ocean, the prize of the sea. It's back to the island will be a long row. Should darkness come down, then the lanterns will glow. High on the cliff tops the islanders stand and wait for the whalemen's return to the land.
I'm not gonna play as a
row, my love, row, and bring back to me the king of the ocean, the prize of the sea. With backs nearly broke and blistered hands sore, the whalemen at last reach the land's rocky shore. The joy on friends' faces a pleasure to see, as they welcome them home with the prize of the sea. Row, my love, row, and bring back to me the king of the ocean, the prize of the sea.
I didn't watch any of these videos.
Where the earth shows its bones of wind, broken stone, and the sea and the sky are warm.
And of course,
I'm caught out of time. My blood sings with wine, and I'm running naked in the sun.
I use
Just caught in the trees, I am weak in the knees, and the sky is a painful blue.
forget about the
I'd like to look
transformation.
around,
In the summer of
but honey, all I
1778,
see is
the
you.
army that marched
The
on
video
Valley
itself.
Forge was a force reborn. They were hungry for a chance to prove that all their
Now the
suffering
summer
had been
city
for nothing.
lights will
As the massive
soften the
British army
night till you
abandoned
think
Philadelphia
that the
for a
air is
slow,
clear.
almost arrogant march
And
across
I'm
New Jersey.
sitting with
They
friends
figured they'd just
where
swim over the
45 cents will buy another
walked
glass
into
of
a
beer.
furnace. They expected
He's got
to
something to say, but I'm so far away honey, all I see is you. And I just want to hold you closer than I've ever held anyone before. You say you've been twice a wife and you're through with life. Oh, but honey, what the hell's it for? After 23 years, you'd think I could find a way to let you know somehow that I want to see your smiling face 45 years from now.
Its valuable colonies in the West Indies and beyond. This new reality put the main British force, which had been comfortably chilling in the American capital of Philadelphia, in a very awkward spot. Their new commander, Lieutenant General Sir Henry Clinton,
Lights on stage every night. I've been reaching out to find a friend
Philadelphia
knows all
was
the
to be
words,
abandoned.
sings so she's heard, knows how all the stories
Clinton's
end.
massive army
Maybe after the show she'll ask me to go home with her for a drink or two. Now her smile lights her eyes, but honey, all I see is you. And I just want to hold you closer than I've ever held anyone before. You say you've been twice a wife and you're through with life. Oh, but honey, what the hell's it for? After 23 years, you think I could find a way to let you know somehow. But I want to see your smiling face 45 years from now. I just want to hold you closer than I've ever held anyone before. You say you've been twice a wife and you're through
he drilled the
with life. Oh, but honey, what the hell's it for? After 23 years, you'd think I could find a way to let you know somehow. But I want to see your smiling face 45 years from
So as
now.
Clinton's army snaked across New Jersey, Washington saw his moment. He had a new army.
Yes, I want to see your smiling face 45 years from now.
The stage was set for a showdown that would test this newfound professionalism to its absolute limit. Washington's War Council was
This
completely
is a song that the
split.
Irish
To some of
stole
his
from the
generals,
Scots
trying
years
to
ago,
take on
and they
the
didn't
full
even
might of
notice
the
it was
British
gone.
Army in a head-on
And
battle
everybody
was
thinks it's an
pure
Irish
madness.
song now, and
The
it's not.
loudest skeptic was his
Originally
own
Scottish,
second
so let's
in
give it
command,
back to them. The
Major
Wild Rover,
General Charles
and
Lee.
it's no, nay,
Lee,
never.
a former
Clap,
British
clap,
officer
clap, clap.
with a brilliant but famously
Or if you're
difficult
Japanese,
personality,
crap, 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 crap.
argued the Continental Army was
No,
still
nay, never, no more. Clap, clap. Will I play the Wild Rover? Clap. No, never, no more. Matter of fact, just for the hell of it, instead of clapping your hands, why don't you actually yell, clap, 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 clap. Clap, clap, and clap, okay? Let's try it differently. And it's no, nay, never.
he was convinced any attack
No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the Wild Rover? No, never, no more. I've been a wild rover for many's a year. Spend all my money on whiskey and beer. But now I'm returning with gold in great store. I never will play the Wild Rover no more. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the Wild Rover? No, never, no more. Now, Scottish people normally say, right up your kilt at the four clap part. So if you want to try that one. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the Wild Rover? No, never, no more.
more aggressive on
I went into an alehouse I used to frequent. Told the landlady my money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay, saying custom like yours I can have any day. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the Wild Rover? No, never, no more. Okay, we're gonna mess around with a stereo here. I I want this side of the room to shout right up your kilt, and I want this side of the room to shout clap, 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 clap. Ready? And it's no, nay, never, no, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I'm from Mott and sovereigns bright, and late eyes opened wide with delight. She said I had whiskey and wine of the best, and the words that I told you are only in jest. It's no, nay, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. Change parts, and it's no, nay, never, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. Okay, we're going to try something different on this verse. I'm going to plug some of the national products of Ireland.
Then we're going to...
Instead of clap, 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 and clap, I want you to harp, 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 and Guinness. Two harps, one like a baby seals on the ice floes. And it no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more. But I play I'll rover. No, never, no more. I'll go home tonight, confess I've done. Ask them to run. And when they caress me, as oft times before, I never will play the wild rover. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never. Once more, and it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more.
Still totally convinced the plan was doomed. As the sun rose on June 28, 1778, Lee's force moved towards the British rear, commanded by the formidable General Charles Cornwallis. The fate of the battle rested on the shoulders of a man who didn't believe...
A pretty girl men fight for, they've even stopped.
The morning of the 28th was brutally hot. As the American advance force got close to Monmouth Courthouse, things started to get confusing. General Lee...
the sober man of plenty, and drunkards barely 20,
and at
that are
times,
men
they
of
seemed to
over
contradict
90
each other.
that have
His
never
plan
yet
was to
kissed
outflank the British rear guard, but he never really managed to communicate that to his commanders on the ground. Units started moving
country
without
over, and together we'll face the world. There's many
any
that feign
coordination,
enjoyment
and the first
from
American attacks
merciless
were clumsy
employment.
and
Their ambition was their deployment from the minute they left the school. And they save and scrape and ponder, while the rest go out and squander. See the world and rove and wonder, and our happy lives are we. Oh, the sober man of plenty, and drunkards barely 20, that are men of over 90, that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling over, fair Orkney down to Dover, we will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world.
the British rear guard, made up of elite grenadiers
And the light of all creations, and in toil arthritis, and you've galloping bronchitis, and you're thinking it's time you died. If you've been a man of action, or you're lying there in traction, you will get some satisfaction thinking, Jesus, at least I tried. There's sober men a plenty, and drunkards barely 20, that are men of over 90, that are very distant. They are down the over, we will roll the country over, and together we'll face the world. There's sober men a plenty, and drunkards barely 20, that are men of over 90, that are very distant. They are down the over, we will roll the country over, and together we'll face the world.
Yeah, it's a bit loud. But that's how sea shanties are, I guess. Fucking loud shit, bro. That's good stuff.
Once there was a barge lad way up
Figured it is the
atop
wrong
the
song, but I still like that one.
shouting
He
to
gave the
skipper,
order to
"We've
retreat,
made it home at
but this
last."
wasn't an
Well,
orderly.
I was that barge lad way up atop the mast. But now I'm the skipper, and that young nipper had better be holding fast. Oh, we're loaded down with bales so high, you've got to lean backwards if you want to see the sky. Oh, the Thames may forgive us, but the old never will. So eyes front and away we sail. Oh, you've got to
How's
be
everyone doing?
able, way up atop
Tactical
the mast.
withdrawal.
Your legs
It was
better be
chaos.
nimble and your head better think fast. Well, I was that able,
Gotta
way
chat
up
for you
atop
guys.
the mast. But now I'm the skipper, and that young
Different
nipper is
brigades
naughty
got
enough
conflicting
to love.
information, and what should have been a
With bales so high, you've got to lean backwards if you want to see the sky. Oh, the Thames may forgive us, but the old never will. So eyes front, keep your head, and away we sail. Oh, you've eyes like an eagle, way up atop the mast.
It was
spotting
chaos.
all the obstacles that come across your path. Well, I was that eagle, way up atop the mast.
Okay, cool. I can see
Now I'm the
Twitch
retreat
chat now.
quickly
Not
turned
nipple
into a
over now.
disorganized run for
How's
it.
everyone doing?
Loaded down with bales so high, you've got to lean backwards if you want to see the sky. Oh, the Thames may forgive us, but the old never will. So eyes front, keep your head, clear your throat, and away we sail. Oh, you've got to remember, way up atop the mast, knowing all the river routes that you never learned from the charts. Well, I do remember, way up atop the mast. But now I'm the skipper, and that young nipper is taking the rivers to heart. Oh, we're loaded down with bales so high.
The soldiers, the men who had drilled endlessly at Valley Forge,
Oh, the Thames may forgive us, but the old never will. So eyes front, keep your head, clear your throat, know your way, fill your pipe, grab on tight, look for the lights, and away we sail.
Oh, I know it's a good number.
it the trail.
Real quick. And we're gonna the YouTube slides.
Just evaporating in the morning. The professional army that Baron von Steuben had worked so hard to build was now running from the enemy. Looking like militia the British had so easily beaten before. The great test was here, and it looked like the Continental Army was failing. Spectacularly. Army. He didn't hear the sounds of a winning battle. He saw his own soldiers in a full, panicked retreat. It was in this moment that one of the most legendary confrontations of the war happened. Washington found a bewildered Charles Lee on the road. The commander-in-chief, a man famous for his composure, was filled with a volcanic rage. According to a general who saw it happen, Washington's fury was so intense that the leaves shook on the tree. He furiously demanded to know what was going on, and in that heated exchange, he basically fired Lee right there on the spot. There was no time for arguing. The British were coming, and the army was about to collapse. Washington's leadership was never more critical. Riding among the retreating men, his presence alone seemed to be enough to stop the panic. He immediately started reforming the lines, his voice cutting through the chaos. He put General Nathaniel Greene on the right flank, Lord Stirling on the left, and put Anthony Wayne in command of the center, using some of the very men Lee had just led in retreat. He had bought them just enough time. What came next was one of the most brutal, grueling fights of the entire war. The temperature soared past 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and soldiers on both sides were dropping from heat stroke. One soldier later wrote that being on the battlefield felt like standing at the mouth of a heated oven. But the American soldiers, their lines now held together by Washington himself, stood their ground. They fought off multiple, ferocious British bayonet charges. That training from Valley Forge wasn't lost. It was now on full display. The air filled with the deafening roar of cannons in what became the largest artillery duel of the entire revolution. And in the middle of all this carnage, legends were born. This is where the story of Molly Pitcher comes from, a woman, most likely Mary Ludwig Hayes, who supposedly carried water to cool the cannons. When her husband collapsed, she reportedly took his place at the gun. Whether it's 100% fact or partly legend, her story became a symbol of the desperate grit the Americans showed that day. For hours, under a punishing sun, the new Continental Army stood toe-to-toe with the best soldiers of the British Empire and refused to break. As evening came, the fighting finally died down. The field was littered with the bodies of men who had fallen in combat or from heat exhaustion. But the American lines had held. They had taken the best punches the British could throw and were still on their feet. The British, battered and exhausted, pulled back. Washington wasn't done, though. He planned to rest his men and hit them again at dawn to finish. He pushed his men, taking control of the battle. A huge victory right there on the field, ready for a final bloody fight in the morning. But when the sun rose on June 29th, the field was empty. Under the cover of darkness, General Clinton had pulled his men out. He saw no point in continuing to attack a strong American position, so he slipped his army away in the night and continued his march to the safety of New York City. The Battle of Monmouth was over. So, who actually won? On paper, the battle was a draw. The British got their army to New York, and the Americans didn't destroy them. American casualties were around 362, while the British lost over 300 men. But in just about every other way that matters, Monmouth was a huge American victory. Washington's army held the field at the end of the day. More importantly, they had met a full-strength British army in a traditional open battle and fought them to a standstill. The brutal training at Valley Forge had paid off. The Continental Army was now a professional force, one that could stand up to the finest troops in Europe. The battle had a huge impact on leadership, too. For Washington, it was one of his finest moments. It cemented his authority as commander-in-chief and shut down the political critics who had been plotting against him. For Charles Lee, it was the end of the road. He demanded a court-martial to clear his name, but was found guilty of disobeying orders and disrespecting Washington. His military career was over. The Battle of Monmouth often gets lost in the history books, overshadowed by the big surrenders at Saratoga and Yorktown. It didn't result in a captured army or win any new territory, but its importance is hard to miss. It was the last time the main British and American armies would clash in a massive head-to-head battle in the northern part of the country. After Monmouth, the war's focus would shift south. Ultimately, Monmouth was the proof of concept for the American Revolution. It was the moment the Continental Army, forged in the fires of Valley Forge, proved it was for real. It showed the world that American independence wouldn't be won in a single glorious battle, But in the sweltering heat and grim
Guys,
determination of
enable
thousands of
TTS,
individual acts of courage on
at
one
some
long
point.
brutal day.
If it gets annoying,
If you found this
I'll
story
probably
about one of the
disable it,
revolution's forgotten turning
but
points
it'll only be
fascinating,
available
make sure
via,
you subscribe
like, a donation.
and hit the like button for more
and
deep
that's just,
dives
like,
into the history
because
you thought you knew.
most of the
And let
time I
us know
do
in the
have
comments,
chat open.
what other
but
overlooked battle
if you
or
have
historical
something like
figure
really
do you think
important to say
deserves
about
the
like the
spotlight?
campaign or
Thanks
like the
for
video,
watching.
I'm more than welcome to letting you guys pop something on my headset.
World building is tricky. You've got all
but
this
yeah.
stuff about the politics and
Let me just
trade
make
and
sure
cultures
we
of your
still
world you
got
want to
the,
share with people, but it's hard to get people to
video
care. A reason to sit around feeling forced.
Wait, what?
Characters
Every
need
time-
to eat all the
every time there's
time.
a
They
new
have
video
opinions on
on the
food,
queue,
desires
I
and
need
memories and
to,
backstory, and scenes can be easily set
change
at a meal.
the
It's just
window
human
capture.
behavior.
So
And
let me do
through
that
that,
right
you
now.
can slip in all that dirty exposition about the world you love without it feeling like an info dump. It's a really subtle but really powerful way to deepen your world.
Oh, and by the way, did you know if you scan this delicious, tasty QR code, my next 2 videos are already waiting for you over on Nebula, which only deepens our world building and writing discussions from.
Let me restart the video. I can't get the F to restart the. Give me a second. Because I'm trying to. What I'm doing right now is I'm changing the scene to a different video. For some reason, with the new version of OBS, you just got issues regarding like when it's like whenever I have a queue, right, on YouTube. I queue videos up for the lives, but when I what the fuck is this image, bro? It's restarted. Give me a second. Properties, capture video. Okay. What is force SDR? Let's if we keep having this issue with the audio from the YouTube, we'll restart the music and swap over to that. Okay, cool. Let's get this started. Just like a thing I'm reacting to. I'm not really watching it. I just watch it with me if you want, but yeah, I'm not really. And I am watching it, but I'm not reacting to it.
Politics and trade and cultures of your world you want to share with people, but it's hard to get people to care, and characters don't usually have a good reason to sit around thinking about it without it feeling really forced. And all of this is why I realized food is kind of a world-building superpower. Seriously, think about it. Characters need to eat all the time. They have opinions on food, desires and memories and backstory, and scenes can be easily set at a meal. It's just human behavior. And through that, you can slip in all that dirty exposition about the world you love without it feeling like an info dump. It's a really subtle but really powerful way to deepen your world.
Oh, and by the way, did you know if you scan this delicious, tasty QR code, my next
Tasty,
2 videos are already
tasty
waiting
Ritz.
for you over on Nebula, which only deepens our world building and writing discussions from today. Link below as well.
I mean, you can learn so much about a world's part 1 culture just by looking at how and what and when and where and why people eat. Stuff which is basically background to a scene. In Avatar: The Last Airbender, nomad cuisine tends to be simpler and closer to the raw ingredients. Think apple salad, moon peaches, onion banana juice, minimally processed foods and ingredients which can be easily gathered or scavenged from nature by a nomadic people who can fly anywhere. Fire Nation cuisine, on the other hand, is more processed, relies on more complex cooking techniques and temperature control, spicy, often using firebending in the process, with more meat supported by its industrialized economy. You can explore deeper cultural levels, like food often has a lot to say about gender roles. In Brandon Sanderson's Dark, looking at these spicy and intense dishes while women get milder, sweet curries. It's all to kind of demonstrate these lengthy ideas of what gender is. Men are expected to be hardy, tough, warrior leaders. Women are modern, and I hear you. That's it. Made me listen at like, look closely at this. What is it? Whiskey, you say. It's also a symbol of masculinity, while things like salad and bacon are only associated with the or the role meat plays in, or what's this out of relation with environment, how prominent certain kinds of meat and consistent about science leadership and that way people are food.
The sea never sleeps. Through every empire, every crown, every flood and border drawn, it continues, the slow breath of eternity against the shore. The world has changed rise, language is split, names are rewritten, yet the rhythm of the tide remains, and with it, the people who have always called its edge home, the Frisians. In the centuries that followed the Age of Kings, the Low Countries became a tapestry power. Experts ruled from far, written languages soared into the wind. Armies marched across dikes and fields, but the sea did not move. In quiet beyond reach of palaces, farmers still looked to the horizon each morning, listening to the murmur of waves before they began. Then came gentle merchant thinkers, those believed that freedom could shake by trade tide. Freedom joined the cause. Ships not only goods, but liberty, dignity, endurance. The people who had fought Rome now turned their quiet fights toward empire once again, fought to conquer in themselves. Still, the centuries moved, one advance, one retreat, following testing the generation.
And we're gonna build so we're gonna need to build a military shipyard. So what? Oh, we need to build that. It's hardwood, cloth, possibly regular wood. I don't know, because hardwood, cloth, fabric, and iron. Well, we're gonna need iron if we build. Well, actually, no. We don't need that to build a tool because we log in camps.
In the 19th century, in the world rushed toward machines, Cosmo walked the old villages, listened to stories from fishermen, hymns from whistles, fragments of speech from shepherds. To him, it was memory woven out. He wrote down, preserved it, held it against the erasing hand of time. Because of him, the voice of Frisia still speaks, not as relic, but as living breath.
I'm only gonna go till 10 o'clock tonight because I want to get a good sleep. I've been up kind of late last couple days. It's just gonna be about my went live at like 8. I don't know. It's possible we could go a little longer. I could go. I could go a little longer, I guess. Maybe yeah, we'll do 20 minutes intro and then I don't know if we get killed in Mexico or